Hello there, Ray here, and today I would like to actually acquire some new type of rare in the game, and we're on the ProtoTech server. I'm actually on my island right here, and in the game there's actually kind of three types of things in the game. There's entities, such as these mobs here, there's items, such as like these no texture cactuses, and there's also blocks, which are actual physical things that are in the game that block you. Now, here you can see we collected some rare entities, such as these Halloween zombies here. They're just sitting on my island, and they're not burning because they have the pumpkins on their head, even though they're exposed to light. And then such as a rare item would be something like a cactus, which is in the item form, and it's no longer acquirable. And then today we're going to actually try to do a type of block that's rare. Now, rare blocks can either be a single block by its own, or several blocks in a formation which make it rare. So today we're actually going to work on a type of rare which is only existent in 1.10. So I have a small example here to show what's going on. So this is for 1.10 version, and this is for 1.11 and beyond versions. And we got a 7-layer snow here, and we got 8-layer snow. Now 7-layer snow is, you can see 0.75 meters tall, and 8-layer snow is 0.875 meters tall. And a normal block is 0, 0. So you can see that they're not exactly full blocks. But what's going on here is that in 1.10, mobs can actually spawn on this 7-layer snow here. And mobs cannot actually spawn on this 8-layer snow here, which looks like a full block, but isn't. So you know mobs can spawn on blocks like this, which are full, but they cannot spawn on this one in 1.10, but they can spawn on this one in 1.10. So that's kind of strange. Now at 1.11, they changed that so that mobs can no longer spawn on the 7 layers of snow, but they can actually spawn on the 8 layers of snow. Which is, yeah, unusual. But yeah, they changed that. But what they also changed was that what blocks can actually be placed on them. So such blocks as like repeaters can actually be placed on the 7 layers of snow, where in 1.11 they can only be placed on this 8 layer of snow. They cannot be placed on this one. And in 1.10 we cannot actually place any repeaters on this one. So if you would happen to have like a repeater on top of 7 layers of snow, and you put this in 1.10, you build this up in 1.10 and 1.11, it will be no longer possible to actually replicate this in 1.11. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do this as well as some other things, and they're all going to be just things that can be done in 1.10. And then when 1.11 comes, it'll change so that it no longer can actually replicate the same thing as we did over here. So we need a place to be able to put these type of rare blocks here. And unlike entities which you can move around, and items which you can easily move around, once you place down these type of blocks you cannot move them around. So I'm thinking about kind of building like a museum underwater off my island here, just off the shore. Now over here I actually have that air bubble that we built a couple episodes ago. It's a air bubble that's made out of the 1.8 ice, which can melt and not update, so that you can actually create air bubbles under the water without any blocks or anything. So you can see inside of here there is no blocks. It's just a whole bunch of water that's just shaped in the air bubble. It's really cool. Now I think maybe over here somewhere, I kind of want to be on the opposite side of the island, because over on that side of the island I have a lot of like withers and gas explosions on that side. So maybe over here somewhere I want to build a kind of like an underwater museum, just one room of it, and I want it to house the snow layers. So I'm going to kind of mark out area and start building it right in here, I think. So I just started digging out the area which I want to place in this room, and right underneath of here there must have just been a ravine, because there was nothing holding up this gravel here, and it all just fell down in here. It's kind of a small ravine. I don't know, not much to it. Yeah, it's a really small ravine. Huh. Well, I'm going to continue working on that. See if I can get the foundation placed. So this is the foundation for the room. I just went with some cyan clay for the outside rim, as well as these columns in the center. This is what will display the different artifacts, which are our snow layers. And then I got little paths around here which the player can use to move around. It's going to be kind of small, but we're just going to use it to display some different examples. Now I'm just going to build up a little room here and close it off. So I got the room's basic shape down. Yeah, I just went with some blue glass here because it really camouflages well with the rest of the ocean here. And then I'm thinking I'm going to just come in here and bevel down these corners, so it kind of look like a oval from above and kind of look like a dome from the side. That way it just looks a little bit better than just having a big square here. And yeah, let's see what that looks like. So I removed those corners, it makes it look a little bit better. Now I just have to come in and remove the water from the inside because there's still water inside there. And obviously don't want to have water inside there if I'm going to be having snow layers in here. So once I get this water removed, then we can be able to place down our exhibits. So I filled in the entire room. Now I just have to remove the slime blocks here. When it comes to the entranceway, I think I'm just going to put a temporary entrance where I just have the water flowing inward. So let me remove this. Quite a few slime blocks actually used to fill this whole area in. But yeah, it's nice and easy to remove them once you get them all filled in. And this will allow it to have a nice big dome area, even though the player will be way down here. Kind of give that like high ceiling dome look, so that you feel like you're kind of like under the ocean, but you're not super close to the top of the roof, so you're not like super confined. Yeah, it's really nice. So from underneath here, you can see the ocean and everything. Now for the doorway here, if I just remove those blocks, then the water would flow in and destroy the snow layers. So what we can do is actually just remove this block here, and I can make it look a little bit nicer if I come in and replace with that block. Now if I fill this area back in again, now when I open it back up, this water from the outside will try to go into this hole first, so it'll sit in there, and then this water source out here will also try to go into this hole. And this way it doesn't actually flow into our area where we will store our rare type of blocks. So that will be nice. Now all I have to do is place in the different artifacts here. So what we got is snow layers, and we're going to just make a bunch of snow layers with 7 layers each, just like this. And then on top of each of these, I will want to place the different types of blocks, just kind of give a good representation of what's going on. So I brought different materials along, like I got some pressure plates here. And then with the pressure plate, you can stand down here on these half slabs, and you can actually see how there's an air gap between the pressure plate and the snow layer here. And if you want to, you can stand above it as well and look down on it. So let me fill this in with snow layers, and then we'll come in and place the artifacts in. So I got all the snow layers placed in here. Each of these are 7 layers. Now something strange is that if you have like some snow layers, even if 1 layer, in survival, you can actually pick block this and actually get some more snow layers to add on. Now in creative you can actually do this, at least not in 1.10. I'm not sure if they fix this, but yeah, it's pretty strange. You can't pick block snow layers in survival. So this one, I'll set this one to 7 as well. Now I'll come in here and place in the different artifacts. So I got some different things that can go on top of the snow layers, and all these usually need a solid topped block to be placed on top of. So we got the pressure plate, I got some redstone dust here, and then next I wanted to place down a rail. This is just a power rail. And then next I want to have a redstone torch. Yep, got my redstone torch. That's nice. Now for this row, I want to have is a flower pot with the flower inside of it. And then, yeah, that looks nice. Then next over here, I want to have a repeater, then a snow layer, then a door. So got a repeater, and then a snow layer. Now that's something that's kind of strange about snow layers themselves. They need a solid top block to be placed on top of another block. So like can't place snow layers on top of the slime blocks because slime blocks are non-typical, but usually they need a block that has a solid top to place another snow layer on top of. And then here, if you try to place a snow layer on top of this one, you would normally add onto it, but if you place a snow layer up against this block here, you'll place it above it, and you can actually place snow layers above another stack of snow layers, which isn't possible in 1.11 either. Now I'm going to put 3 of those on there, and this is actually the precise height in which a player can jump. So a player can actually jump up 1 block and 1/4 of a block. So you can see he's at 0, 0, and he jumps up to 0.25. So yeah, he jumps a solid whole block plus 1/4 of a block. So that's pretty cool. And then next up is the door. So yeah, there's a door. That's nice. And then the last layer, I want to have a comparator, a lever, pressure plate, and a button. So let's see if I got that. Comparator, lever, pressure plate, button. I have the comparator facing this way. lever, pressure plate, a weighted pressure plate, and a button. Yep. I think that's going to be everything filled in this whole area. Looks really nice. I always find these Acacia doors to be a bit deceiving because, I mean, it looks like you can see right through them, like you can see the ocean and stuff, but when you go to open them, dang, that gets me every time. So I tried to make a pretty good example of all the different blocks that could be placed on top of 7 layers of snow for 1.10, which would not be possible at 1.11. So I got most of it's kind of like redstone stuff. So you got like the pressure plates, you got the weighted pressure plates, as well as buttons and levers. You also got blocks such as the repeater and the comparator, and you got doors and the redstone torches and snow layers and some unique stuff like flower pots, which need solid top blocks as well to be placed on top of stuff. So that's cool. And also some of the stuff to point out here is that when we do upgrade to 1.11, you want to make sure that some of the stuff does not actually get block updates near them. So stuff like this pressure plate here, if you would walk on top of this in 1.11, it would pop off because it has been updated and it sees that it can no longer be on top of the snow layer and it'll just break off, and this would break this one. And stuff like, same goes for like this pressure plate if you walk on top of it. Now if you would actually click on this button here, it would break off as well, and same goes for like a lever. Now, such as repeaters and comparators, you can actually flick these and these will not update them, so that's nice. And same goes for doors. Doors you can open and close them, we won't update them as well. And some things like redstone torches, if this redstone torch would break off, it would update other blocks around it, even though they're not touching. So this redstone torch, if that would break off in 1.11, it would update this rail as well as this door. And same thing goes for like repeaters. We'll update a block, 2 blocks in front of them. So this could actually break off if this repeater would happen to update. Something cool actually about some of these blocks is that underneath them they have invisible textures. So like they actually have no texture underneath them. Like the redstone dust has no texture, as well as like this repeater has no texture, so you can see right through it. And same goes for like the comparator here as well. So that's kind of cool. Now I kind of set this up so that when the player comes in, he is down on these half slabs, so he wouldn't be like automatically accidentally just walk on top of these and update them unless you have auto jump on. So that way the player is just down here, he won't accidentally walk up on top of them. Now I also made it so that the player can like see the gaps underneath them with these bound slabs. As well, if he wants to, he can get a better look by standing up on here, look down at these. So having these 7 layers of snow kind of spaced out like this, you can kind of do something kind of cool where you just walk from one snow layer onto the next one. Notice how your player kind of falls in between the gaps. Now this is not auto jump because I actually don't have auto jump on. I can show you that right now. Auto jump is off. So if you had auto jump, you just push forward and your character would jump up on top of this. But I don't have that on, so that's not what's going on. And you normally would not be able to walk up here, like half a meter block your player can normally walk up to, but these are too high. You can see they're actually 0.75, so they're like 3/4 of a meter up. So that's not what's going on as well. But what I think is going on is when you're going forward, your player starts to fall down in between the holes, in between the gaps here. But then he only falls down part way before your player already arrives at this next block here. And since he's less than a half a meter down, he's able to climb up on top of this one. And this allows your player to continually walk onward even though he's falling in between these gaps. Now I think if I would move this block here, it should work. You'd think it would work because the player's not actually touching that bottom block. Nope, it doesn't work. So the player must be somewhat hitting that bottom block, but not really actually affecting his height. That's kind of strange. But yeah, it's kind of cool what you can actually do with these 7 layers of snow. So one thing to note about snow layers is that they're kind of touchy. You don't want to have any light source of 12 or higher beside them, or else the actual snow layers will melt. So that's why I kind of place this underwater. You also got to make sure you don't have water flowing here and actually destroy the snow layers. So yeah, I don't have any light in here. Also got to be wary that mobs don't actually spawn in here as well, because I do have areas where mobs can spawn. So I might have to think about some way I can actually prevent mobs from spawning here. Maybe just put down something there, or maybe swap this out with glass or something. Mobs shouldn't be able to spawn on this redstone stuff like that. That's all good here. Just have to worry about this door here, because mobs can actually spawn here in 1.10, but then in 1.11 we won't have to worry about it. So yeah, I might have to change these blocks up down here. But then other than that, I think it's pretty good. I really like the vaulted ceiling. It looks pretty cool. When I do come around to making more rooms, I may change that doorway up a little bit, maybe add some more museum rooms around here as well. It looks kind of cool from here. You can see all the different blocks nicely displayed. Yeah, I really like this project. So I swapped those solid blocks with glass. It looks nice. I think we're finished with that one. Now I want to go and actually work on collecting another type of rare. This is an item. I've shown this before in a video. We're going to try to collect the different types of NBT tags that go with potions. So I'm going to head over to the Quad Witch perimeter and we can get started on that one. We're here at our Quad Witch perimeter, and I have a bunch of potions, potion stands set up so that we can make all the different types of potions. What we are going for is a type of potion that, or a type of item that is only acquirable in 1.10. So if we just brew up this nether wart into this water bottle, we'll get an aqua potion here. But if we have some glass bottles over here on the extra slots, we can also get an NPT tag on these. Now I showed this in a previous video, which I will link in the description, explaining how this all works. But this allows us to get an NPT tag actually on a glass bottle, and the NPT tag will just say that it's an awkward potion, even though it's just actually a glass bottle. So now this NPT tag is placed. You see it says 1 tag. So this just has an extra tag on top of these glass bottles. And these are different than these glass bottles here, and they can't stack. So that's what makes them different. And this is only acquirable in 1.10, so we're going to try to get different types. Now I came ahead and made a bunch of the types already. The first type is the Aqua Potion, and then you can also get the Mundane Potion, and then if you have the glass bottles in there while the Mundane Potion is being made, then you get these type of glass bottles, and these don't stack with the other ones, so these are all separate. So we got the Thick Potion, and then we go over into like the Weakness Potion, got its own, and then we got Night Vision, and then we got the glass bottles from Visibility, Fire Resistant, Leaping, Swiftness, Slowness, Water Breathing, Healing, and then we got Poison, Damaging or Harming, and then we got Regen and Strength, and then we got all the different glass bottles that go with them. So all these are different types of glass bottles that can't be stacked, and they're all unique, and these are all discontinued in 1.11, so that's why we're acquiring them. Now you can also take those potions, and then you can take something like the Weakness Potion, and then you can make it longer. So let's see, do I have an example of that? Yeah, here's a Weakness Potion made longer. So this chest here is all the potions with redstone dust added to them, so they're just longer times, and these are actually unique glass bottles as well. So they got all these. I think in this one there is like 16, and this one there's like 11, I think, in this one. And then this is all of them that have been raised levels. So we got like level 2 damage and like level 2 health and level 2 regen, and all their glass bottles. I think there's 7 here. Yeah, 7 here. So we got like 34 different types of items. Now with these glass bottles, you can actually extend them a little bit further as well. So these all have an NBT tag of 1, and this one has an NBT tag of 2. And the way that this is done is actually just by renaming them. Now this is not unique to 1.10. You can do this in 1.11 as well. You stick an item into the anvil and you add a space, and you stick it out and put it back in again, and then remove all the words, and then it'll come back to the same wording without italicized. And you can see it has an NBT tag with 2 tags on it. So yeah, that's what I did. That's not specific to 1.10, so you can do that in any version, but that's how I got these over here. So if you want to, you can actually even double the amount of items you have by just renaming one of these. And also here is something that's kind of unique to 1.10, but they have fixed it. So water bottles that come from a water source, such as just some water in the ground, just are called water bottles with no effect. Now you see this is a water bottle over here that has an NBT tag of 1. This is a water bottle that's taken out of a cauldron, and that's why it has an NBT tag of 1. Now if you would rename this water bottle, it has an NBT tag of 2. Now if you update to 1.11, all these water bottles that have no NBT tags will switch over to this type over here. So this isn't a type of rare, but it looks kind of funny how there is actually like 3 different types of water bottles here and they all act the same. I moved all the potions over here and I got them in this chest as well as this chest here. This will be all the discontinued items. I will find a better home for them in the future, but I think that's going to be it for today. So thanks for joining me as I have fun in survival. Bye bye!